My name is Christoph Hesse. I'm the founder of Christoph Hesse Architects. We are based in Korbach and Berlin. Our exhibition at Time, Space, Existence is called Vision and Action. We see our projects as built arguments for a collaborative and ecological future. They are divided into two parts: system changer and perspective changer. A system changer breaks through existing structures at the local level. The aim is a fundamental process of transformation. The off-the-grid house Villa F in Sauerland, for instance, has started a bottom-up collaboration that has made entire communities CO2 neutral and independent of the global energy market. The second category, perspective changer, should help to change one's individual perspective, a place where people can step out of everyday life and see the world differently. The collectively built open-mind places in my hometown Titmaringhausen encourage deep reflection and stimulate an open exchange about new ideas for the future. Villa F. One day, a client from a small village, Titmaringhausen in Sauerland, Germany, walked into our office and said, "Christoph, I would like to have a round house." It turned out that the client had two reasons why he wanted his house to be round. First, when he was sitting down during the construction phase inside the circular walls of one of his biogas plants, he was fascinated by the fundamental effects of the space. Secondly, from an energy efficiency point of view, the surface volume proportion should be ideal. This was crucial because he planned to heat the house with the heat being produced by his bioenergy plant. He wanted to give an example to the whole village, how to heat locally, save the money, and to be eco-friendly at the same time. The house, which became the company headquarters, was going to be the first link of a local heat grid. 3 years of local heating grid existence. Had you thought at that time we would manage it so good? Not at all. To be honest, I had been one of the most skeptical. I can still remember it. The topography of the surroundings, in particular the slope of the mountains, were echoed by the shape of the roof. In addition, the landscape was drawn into the building, forming lodges and balconies. The interaction between the inside and the outside is the key concept of the building, since it reflects the client's close relationship to the place where they live and work. The facade of the house is of particular interest. From time to time, the client brings stones from a nearby creek that he finds during his walks and mounts them onto the facade. This leads to a constant change of the external expression of the building. On the one hand, the house adapts itself to the environment, while on the other hand, it transforms the surroundings and the village in a unique way. The supply and disposal of the building is, due to the biogas system, self-sufficient, therefore off the grid. Meanwhile, through the exemplary ecological nature of this building, the whole village decided to connect to the local heating grid of the farm. There were 12 of us at the very beginning, and when it happened to work, the others joined us automatically, although they had grumbled about it before. By becoming independent of the global market, energy costs were significantly reduced. Now we have saved about 150,000 fuel oil or even more. 500 tons of CO2 have been cut down. It means 20 lorries of CO2 that only in this small spot of 190 inhabitants were saved, all thanks to the local heating grid. We had an energy day in our village last year. There were hundreds of people visiting the plant and the headquarters to be informed about our heating grid. At the moment there is a plan to expand the grid to the next village. They also want to gain profit from it and make something for the environment.
Himmelstropfen.
On the occasion of the International Day for Biological Diversity in May 2020, 3 small pavilions made of welded wire mesh were constructed on the hilltop. Various types of regional plants, flowers and grass grow aloft the wire grids, framing the view into the sky. This open-mind place serves as a place of retreat, to explore the connectedness with nature and self-identity. Meanwhile, it has developed into a beloved spot for many people in the region. Sonnenklang. On the hill dedicated to the annual Easter fire above Recklinghausen thrones the open-mind place Sonnenklang. The tent-shaped roof over a wooden lounger captures the light rays from the evening sun and the sounds of the surrounding. Here the visitor can relax and take in the landscape. Oberholz. The open-mind place Oberholz is located 20 meters above the neighboring Unterholz installation. Oak sleepers were stacked on a substructure of 6 concrete pillars to form a building for coming together. The interior is accessible via a small bridge and offers space for up to 6 people. The elevated position allows a wide view over the village and the hills in the south with the Heidenstraße. For many people, Oberholz is a popular place to retreat and to exchange ideas with others. Unterholz. This installation is located on the multi-generational square of Recklinghausen. In the lower part, sitting facilities for young and elderly have been cut out from 2 concrete cubes. During the manufacturing process, the villagers attached old windows, doors and memorabilia to the concrete formwork in order to leave a permanent imprint for future generations. The upper part is made out of wood, from which the half-timbered houses in the Sauerland were once built. On the one hand, it serves as a roof, and on the other, as a central luminous element when it's dark. Flug. The Flug reminisces of the village's rural origins. Digitized records that tell stories of ancestors' daily life are reproduced here. A staircase takes you down into the walkable sculpture to wander around and listen to the old tales on the bench with a view over the fields and the landscape. Despite of fatiguing and arduous life, the stories advocate finding the joy and satisfaction in life. Waldbrand. Waldbrand is an installation intended to commemorate the dramatic forest dieback in 2020. A stack of dry wood was built on top of a pedestal made of reinforced concrete beams. The structure was burned and photographed. Afterwards, the installation has been dismantled. What remains is a renewed awareness of protecting our sensitive ecosystem. Strohtherme. On the occasion of the 750th anniversary of the village of Recklinghausen in 2019, the temporary pavilion Strohtherme celebrates a milestone in the history of the place: the community's heat supply using bioenergy. As a metaphor, the outer wall's straw represents the renewable raw materials. The steel basin with hot water symbolizes the energy that is produced out of biomass. The particular ambience invited hundreds of visitors to inform themselves about sustainability and environmental protection. Raum der Stille. The Raum der Stille, Room of Silence, is a conversion of a former goat's stable. It has been transformed with the help of local community into a meeting place that metaphorically portrays the current generation of green electricity in the city of Korbach. The previous leaky roof was not replaced. Instead, a concrete anchor was put on top and the interior was open to the sky. Collectively, flowers, herbs, bushes and trees were planted, which bloom at different seasons throughout the year. In the middle of the greenhouse, a hammock was attached to ropes, which are held in balance by 4 stones. These stones represent the green energy sources in Korbach: wind, sun, water and biomass. Today, 80% of Korbach's electricity is generated by these sources. The average in Germany is only about 45%. The pavilion should show that it must be 100% to live in balance with the environment. Green Energy Facility. This project is a result of a symbiosis of function and atmosphere. However, the 3 infrastructure buildings are more than just functional objects. They are places with a special ambience, which were linked by a theme path. They serve as biomass storage facilities and thus contribute to the green energy supply of the village of Recklinghausen. An extension of the path led to the Strohtherme, an information pavilion that was built on the occasion of the 750 years celebration of the village in 2019. Stones and water. The dam of Lake Edersee is of great importance for the local population's identity. It represents the radical structural change from a poor rural area to a nationally important recreational area. To express this in an emblematic way, the local community decided to build a visitor center with a museum where the vivid history of the place will be shown. The concept idea emerged from a symbolic cutting out of a section through the dam. The new building towers up so that sightseers can look at the lake and the dam from above. On the ground floor, the visitors are directed to the interior by a spectacular space. The museum itself is located in the underground level.